is 11:15 on a Tuesday night. You are not asleep yet, and you are not trying to be. You are lying on your side with a cat pressed against the back of your knees. A warm, specific weight. And for the first time all day, every single muscle in your body has unclenched. You did not ask the cat to come. You never do. They just appear. At the exact moment your nervous system finally gives up performing. You didn't post about this. You didn't tell anyone this was the best part of your day. You just lay there in the quiet, one hand resting loosely on warm fur, and thought nothing in particular. And it was enough, more than enough. It was exactly what you needed. There is a specific kind of woman who loves cats. Not just likes them, loves them, in the way that feels slightly bigger than is easy to explain to people who ask. She has tried to explain it. She knows the jokes that are coming before they arrive. She has laughed at them politely, or deflected them gracefully, or simply stopped mentioning the cats to certain people. Because the energy of defending something that does not need defending is energy she does not have. What she cannot easily say is that the relationship she has with her cat is not the consolation prize. It is something specific and irreplaceable. It fills a need that human relationships do not always fill in the same way. She notices when her cat is off. A slight change in energy, a different kind of quiet, something in the way they hold themselves. She notices it before anyone else would. She adjusts. She checks in. She pays a quality of attention to the animal that most people only give to things that can explain themselves in language. When she has had a bad day, a genuinely bad one, she does not reach for her phone. She finds the cat. She sits down somewhere quiet and lets the cat come to her or not come to her. She does not perform anything for it. She does not have to manage how she looks or what she says. She is just a person on a floor. The cat does not mind. She talks to her cat about real things. Not baby talk, actual low-volume narration of her interior. I don't think I said the right thing today. I'm really tired, and I don't know why. The cat considers her face and blinks slowly and goes back to cleaning its ear. And somehow that is the exact correct response. She knows this looks eccentric to some people. She is not particularly bothered by that anymore. But she has wondered, why does this feel so natural? Why does the cat understand her better than some people who have known her for years? If any of that sounds like you, drop a 1 in the comments. I want you to see how many women are reading this right now, thinking the exact same thing. Because here is what the research actually tells us about women who form deep bonds with cats. And it is not what most people assume. Psychologists have been studying human-animal attachment for decades. What they have found dismantles the narrative. Dr. John Bradshaw, an anthrozoologist at the University of Bristol, spent years studying the human-cat relationship. He found that cats interact with their owners, using the same behavioral cues they used with their mothers as kittens. Slow blinking, soft chirping, bringing things, pressing close. The bond activates on both sides, systems that were built for early attachment. It is not imitation love. It is structurally similar to what researchers call a secure base. The felt sense that there is someone, somewhere, who is simply glad you exist. There is a concept in attachment theory called felt security, the internal experience of feeling safe in a relationship, not just logically knowing you are safe, but feeling it in the body. Research on human-animal bonds has consistently found that cat owners report significantly higher felt security during stress. Their cortisol levels drop, their heart rate slows, their nervous system downregulates. This is not placebo, it is measurable. It is physiological. Human relationships carry complexity, history, expectation, the subtle awareness that you are being perceived and evaluated. That awareness does not disappear. Most people carry it constantly. It is part of the social cognition tax of being human. Cats do not evaluate you. They do not remember what you said last Thursday and factor it into how they receive you today. They want warmth and safety and proximity. And if you provide those, they return them without condition. For a nervous system accustomed to monitoring and managing and preemptively adapting, that is not a small thing. That is profound rest. But here is the question underneath all of this, the one that matters more than the science. Why is her nervous system monitoring in the first place? Where did that need for rest come from? What did she learn, early on, about what love required of her? Think back to what love looked like when you were learning what it was, not the version you had access to consciously. Think about what the texture of love felt like, whether it came with conditions attached, Whether it arrived reliably or only sometimes. Whether you could predict it, or whether part of your job was to read the room carefully enough to call it toward you. If you grew up in an environment where love was conditional, your nervous system learned something. It learned that connection requires earning, that belonging has requirements, that you should always be paying a certain quality of attention to the emotional temperature of the room. That learning does not leave. It becomes automatic. It runs in the background of every relationship you enter. And then a cat sits on your chest at 8 in the morning and demands nothing. And your nervous system goes, oh, this is what it feels like when there is no test. Some women grew up with parents who were loving but unpredictable, warm one day, somewhere else the next. Some grew up managing the emotions of the adults around them, learning early that the safest thing was to be low maintenance. Some grew up with siblings or peers, where belonging always had a slightly competitive edge. None of these experiences are dramatic. None of them are unusual. Many of them would not even show up as an explanation if someone asked why you find it easier to breathe next to a cat. They are there. They shape what rest feels like. They explain why uncomplicated love feels like water after a very long walk. But here is the part I want to say with care. For some women, the ease of the cat relationship becomes a reason, not consciously, but functionally, to keep human relationships at a slightly safer distance. If human love is complicated and animal love is simple, the math starts to look like a preference. And it is a preference. But underneath, it is sometimes also fear. The fear that being fully known by another person will cost something. The cat never adjusts. The cat does not have a version of you it prefers. I am not saying the cat love is wrong. I am saying, if you have used the simplicity of it to avoid being fully seen by a person, that is worth noticing. Not judging, just noticing. The woman who loves cats has, in many cases, developed a quality of attunement that is genuinely extraordinary. Sensitivity to nonverbal cues, to emotional texture, to the way a living thing is feeling beneath whatever it is presenting. She has practiced noticing. She has practiced responding without needing language. Those are not small skills. They are the skills that make someone easy to be with. They are the skills that make her the person people call when they need to feel understood. The cat did not make her that way. The cat reflected back something that was already there, a capacity for quiet, undemanding presence, a willingness to love something that cannot fully reciprocate and to find that enough. Drop an 8 in the comments if this is the first time someone has put words to this for you. The woman who finds rest next to a cat is not lonely. She is particular. She knows what genuine peace feels like in the body, and she has stopped apologizing for where she finds it. She was not avoiding love. She was keeping safe a version of herself that had not yet found the room she was built for. And knowing that, knowing where the ease came from and what it protected, is the beginning of being able to bring that capacity into the human relationships that are actually worth it. I want to ask you something before you go. Think back to the first animal you ever truly loved. Not just liked, loved. The one you talked to, the one you looked for when something went wrong. The one that did not require anything except presence. How old were you? And what was happening in your life at the time that made that particular kind of love feel like exactly what you needed? Leave it in the comments. You don't have to explain it fully, even just the age, even just a single word. If this stayed with you, our next video goes even deeper, into the psychology of women who were never told they were enough. Watch it next.